When the Osmo Pocket was announced last year, it completely changed the game for what you can expect to find in a portable camera. It offered a 3-axis gimbal that could literally fit in your pocket, but it did come with some quirks and some that held many back from purchasing it. So today I'm going to be going over what the next generation, may it be Osmo Pocket 2 or Osmo Pocket Pro, might bring to the table. These are just my ideas, so don't quote me on any of them. I like talking about this stuff and I know a lot of other people do too. So if you're into that, stay tuned and let's get right into the Osmo Pocket 2 speculation. So the current Osmo Pocket features a 1/2 inch sensor, which is kind of the standard for a lot of smaller cameras these days. But as we've seen DJI do in the past, from the jump from a 1/2 inch sensor on the Mavic Pro to a 1-inch sensor on the Mavic 2 Pro, we can probably expect to see a bump in sensor size, which will result in better low light performance, dynamic range, and overall detail in our images. May or may not be a Hasselblad camera. If it was, that would be awesome. Maybe even 10-bit and some pro features, but that would probably only come along if they do introduce the Osmo Pocket Pro. Moving on, along with this larger sensor, we can probably expect to see a faster aperture. At f2, it's kind of holding it back, as an f1.8 or equivalent lens might be a bit better to let in just more light and improve low light performance significantly, as well as getting even more depth of field, especially if there is a larger sensor. Next up is built-in memory. We've seen this being added to a lot of their drones, and I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't introduced with the Osmo Pocket. At least 8 gigabytes on there, just for in case you forget. Your micro SD card would be preferred. I know that you can save it to your phone too, but it's just better to have it right on the device so you don't necessarily have to bring your phone, because if you're going to have to bring your phone anyway, what's the point of having this small camera other than the fact that you do have a gimbal? But it would be nice just to be able to pull out the Osmo Pocket and not have to do anything, even if you forget your micro SD card, because we all do. Next up is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. It sounds kind of funny not to have that on something. Even my A6500 from 2016 has that, but for some reason they could not implicate them inside of the Osmo Pocket. You have to buy an accessory, which is just adding on to the price of the device. So I hope that they do add Wi-Fi and Bluetooth internally on the Osmo Pocket so that you can opt for a wireless option for viewing the images while you're shooting with the Osmo Pocket and afterwards for transferring them to your mobile device. Next up, let's go over the body itself, because this is where a lot of the issues arise from with the Osmo Pocket. I know that there were issues with focus hunting and things like that, but those are things that can be fixed in firmware. So with body, the first thing that we want to see for sure is a quarter 20. I don't know why they did not add this in the first place. Having to have an adapter just to put a quarter 20 on any camera is kind of ridiculous. It's just a standard. If you want to put it on a tripod or anything, you should have that option. It's kind of different for this a bit just because it's so small, and you can also set it down and just have it do time lapses just sitting on its bottom. But it's such a thin base that it's so easy to tip over, and I would not trust it to not fall off of whatever the heck you're recording on, especially if you're doing time lapses. Next up is a built-in wheel or joystick, just something to control that gimbal without having to move the whole thing and have it follow. The shots you can get with a wheel or joystick are so much more precise and cinematic in comparison to just having to guess at moving your hand with it and having it follow. And I know they do offer an accessory for this, but if they just made it a tad bit bigger, they could easily implicate something to control it straight on it without having to buy accessories and make it bigger anyways. Next up is a larger screen. Now I know this is a bit controversial because you are supposed to connect it to your phone, but what if you just want to use it by itself? The screen on it is so small, it is incredibly hard to see. So having just a bit of a bigger screen, maybe changing the aspect ratio or something would be awesome, just to make sure that you can actually see what you're recording if you opt to not use your cell phone with it. Next up is a mic port, and I know that there is the adapter and dongle, but really who wants dongles these days? It wouldn't be nice just to add a mic port. They already didn't add any weather sealing to it, so it can't be something to do with them not wanting to add more ports to have to weather seal. It's just they didn't add it. So if they just made it a bit bigger, it would be awesome to add a mic port so you can just plug in your microphone, as the microphone quality has improved over time, but it is still not that good. Next up is a removable battery, and I know this might just be for the professional model if they do opt to make one, but having a removable battery is just so much more convenient for if it dies, so you don't have to plug in a power bank. You can just swap out your batteries, buy a couple of them, you're good for the day. Finally, I kind of hinted at this before about the mic port, but adding some type of weather sealing would really bump this up, as it's kind of fighting against other action cameras just because of the size of it and the price point, such as the GoPro Hero 7, which is completely waterproof. Having to spend extra money on a case where the GoPro is waterproof out of the box does kind of make things a bit uneven in that aspect. So having some sort of weather sealing, maybe not waterproof because that would be extremely hard with a gimbal, but having some sort of weather sealing just for splashes or dust or anything if it's raining, it would be awesome. Now I want to go over a few very unlikely features, but some that I think would be amazing to have in the next generation. Number one is interchangeable cameras. So this would be kind of what we thought we were going to see with the Mavic 2 when we saw those leaks with the image of it, of the drone sitting beside this little gimbal type thing. We all thought that it looked like you could change the cameras between them. You can't. So that would be extremely nice to have that, sort of like a GoPro Karma sort of thing, but without the whole falling out of the sky. It would be awesome to have that implicated on the next generation, to be able to swap the cameras maybe between the Mavic 3 and the Osmo Pocket 2 or Osmo Pocket Pro, whatever it may be, so you can switch out the camera. You can put it on your gimbal and then take it off and put it right on your drone, get it up in the air. That would be amazing just to have them slide on and off, because they are such a similar size, and if they're already possibly going to be introducing a 1-inch sensor, they could just use the one that is already on the Mavic 2 or in the future the Mavic 3 Pro. So with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it is a lot of speculation, but I enjoy talking about these things, and I know some of you guys are interested too, so I thought I would go over it here today. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button, as well as even hitting that notification bell so you are notified when I upload videos. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. If you like the Osmo Pocket, please let me know what you guys would want to see in the next generation down in the comments section below. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.